A storm is rising over the highlands. The wind carries whispers of sorrow and secrets. The earth feels heavy, as if it knows that lives are about to change forever. In the silence of a lonely night, a single choice will shape the destiny of more than one family. Ellen stands at the doorway of her small stone home. The fire inside burns low, casting shadows that dance across the walls. Her heart is torn between fear and resolve. She hears the faint cry of a child, and with that sound, her world tilts. A cry so fragile, so full of need, that it pierces deeper than any blade. This is not her child, and yet in this moment it feels as though fate has placed him in her arms. Julie has gone. Her footsteps faded into the mist, leaving only silence behind. A silence broken only by the soft whimpering of the little boy, wrapped in a thin blanket. He shivers though the fire burns warm. Ellen kneels beside him. Her hands tremble as she lifts the cloth from his face. The boy's eyes meet hers, and for the first time she sees not just a child, but a soul reaching for safety. The room feels alive with history. Family portraits hang on the walls, silent witnesses to what is unfolding. Generations look down from faded frames, reminding Ellen of the weight of legacy. She remembers her own mother's words about duty and the price of love. She wonders if she has the strength to pay that price now. She wonders if love is enough when the world outside their walls is filled with danger and betrayal. The wind pushes at the door, as if urging her to decide. The child's small fingers grasp at the edge of her sleeve. A touch so light, and yet it anchors her as firmly as chains. Her chest rises with a heavy breath. The decision she feared becomes clear. She cannot let him go. She will not let him face the world alone. Her heart whispers the answer long before her mind can speak it aloud. Outside, the storm rages louder. Lightning flashes across the hills, casting brief light into the room. For an instant, the child's face glows with innocence and hope. Ellen's eyes fill with tears. She knows this choice will bring both joy and pain. She knows that once she takes him into her arms, she cannot undo what is done. The cost will follow her forever. She does not turn away. She reaches out fully this time, pulling the boy close against her chest. His warmth seeps into her skin. His breathing slows as he finds comfort in her hold. In that quiet moment, Ellen feels both fear and strength rise within her. The storm may break the sky, but it cannot break the bond now forged in fire and fate. The dawn comes without warmth. The sky is painted in pale gray strokes, as if the heavens themselves grieve with the earth. Ellen has not slept. The child rests, beside her wrapped in woolen cloth, but her eyes remain fixed on the flickering fire. She knows that with the rising sun, questions will rise as well. Questions from neighbors, from kin, from those who will not understand why Julie is gone, and why. Ellen now carries the weight of her son. She walks outside into the cold air, her shawl pulled tight. The village is stirring voices and footsteps, drifting through the morning fog. She feels them before she sees them. The eyes of women at the well, the men sharpening tools, the children whispering as they pass. Her heart beats faster with each glance, though none have spoken aloud. Suspicion grows in silence, louder than words. A friend approaches Morna, her childhood companion. The kindness in Morna's eyes cuts through the tension, but even she hesitates before speaking. "Is it true?" she asks in a low voice. "Did Julie leave him with you?" Ellen swallows hard. Her lips press together. She does not answer at first. The truth hangs heavy between them. The weight of it could crush her, but to deny it would be a lie. To admit it would be to invite judgment. She finally nods once, and the air thickens around them. Morna's hand touches Ellen's arm gently. A mixture of worry and fear passes through her gaze. "The people will not approve." You know that Ellen lifts her chin. Though her stomach twists, she whispers, "I could not let him be lost." Whatever fate Julie chose for herself, the boy is innocent. He deserves more than abandonment. He deserves a chance at life. Morna's lips part, as if to respond, but she does not. Instead, she turns away, her silence more cutting than any accusation as Ellen carries the boy back inside. She feels the walls close in. The small home, once a place of comfort, now feels like a fortress, a cage against the outside world. The child stirs, his soft breath brushing against her neck, and in that instant, she knows that the true battle has only begun. It will not be against hunger or storms alone. It will be against whispers sharp as knives, against laws unyielding, and against a history that rarely forgives those who defy it. The fire cracks behind her, but its warmth feels distant. She sets the boy down carefully and gazes into his wide, curious eyes. He smiles, faintly unaware of the storm that awaits him outside. Ellen kneels close, pressing her forehead to his tiny hand. In her heart, she speaks a vow, one that no one else can hear. Whatever comes, whatever the world demands, I will not abandon you. Night falls, heavy and slow. Shadows stretch across the hills like dark hands reaching toward the village. Ellen's home glows faintly from the firelight inside. But that glow feels fragile, as though one harsh breath of wind could snuff it out. She rocks the boy gently in her arms. His breathing has steadied, yet her own refuses to calm. Every sound outside the walls feels sharper. A twig snapping in the distance. A horse shifting its weight. The call of an owl. All of it becomes a warning. Word has traveled. Further than she hoped. In taverns, men speak her name. In kitchens, women lower their voices when she passes. The story grows twisted by tongues eager for scandal. Some say she stole the boy. Others claim Julie cursed her with him. Few dare to speak the truth, and fewer still want to believe it. Ellen feels the weight of rumor pressing down heavier than any stone. She knows that secrets cannot stay hidden forever. But she had hoped for a little more time. That time ends when the knock comes, a hard knock, quick and insistent. Her chest tightens. She places the child in his cradle and stands at the door. Her hand lingers on the wood as if touching it will keep the visitor away. But the knocking grows louder until silence is no longer an option. She opens the door. Two figures stand in the darkness. One is a man with a stern face, a voice of authority. The other a woman wrapped in a heavy cloak. Her eyes search past Ellen toward the cradle inside. The man speaks his words, clipped sharp. Julie is gone. The boy has no father to claim him. It cannot be left like this. The village must decide what is to be done. Ellen feels her pulse race, but her voice is steady. He is not a burden. He is my son now. The woman steps forward, her expression softer but no less dangerous. She speaks low. Ellen, choices such as this bring consequences. Families divide. Friends turn cold blood. Ties are not easily broken. Are you ready to stand against them? Ellen's throat burns, but she does not waver. She replies with quiet fire, I will stand against the world if I must. The visitors exchange a look. The man shakes his head and mutters that the council will hear of this before turning away. The woman lingers a moment longer, her gaze flickering between Ellen and the boy. Then she too disappears into the night, leaving behind silence, heavy enough to crush the air. Ellen closes the door and leans against it. Her body shakes with fear, but her arms remain steady as she lifts the child once more. His small head rests against her shoulder, as if he trusts her more than anyone in the world. She whispers into his ear, You are mine now, and nothing will take you from me. Yet in the distance, she hears the faint echo of church bells, a reminder that soon judgment will come, not from whispers, but from voices united against her. The council gathers beneath the old oak that has stood for centuries. A circle of stone benches surrounds the roots, where generations have spoken judgment. The air is cold and sharp, as if even the wind wishes to bear witness to what will unfold. The villagers come in slow, steady lines, men with grim faces, women clutching shawls tighter around their shoulders, children peeking from behind skirts, their eyes all fined. Ellen and the child who rests against her chest. The elders sit at the head of the circle, their cloaks trimmed with fur, their staffs carved with markings of authority. The leader, an old man named Duncan, clears his throat. His voice carries over the crowd heavy with tradition and law. We gather because the order of things has been disturbed. A woman gone, a child left without claim, and Ellen, daughter of this village, has taken him without consent. He lets the words settle, as though each one is a stone being laid upon Ellen's shoulders. Ellen does not bow her head. She stands straight, her arms firm around the boy. The silence that follows is broken by murmurs. Some voices demand the child be sent to the kirk, to be raised without attachment. Others whisper of kinship, of the bonds that cannot be severed. The council listens, but their faces remain unreadable. Ellen feels the tension coil tighter with every passing breath. Then Morna steps forward. Her voice trembles, but she speaks clear. I have known Ellen all my life. She does not act from greed or deceit. She acts from heart. But heart alone will not silence the laws we hold. If we let one woman claim as she pleases, what stops another from doing the same? The crowd shifts, restless. Stirred by her words, Ellen's eyes close for a moment. Her friend's voice cuts deeper than any enemy's. Duncan raises his staff and the crowd stills. He asks Ellen to speak. Her throat is dry, yet her words come strong. I did not choose this out of defiance. I chose it because no child should be left without love. If Julie has vanished, let that be her choice. But I will not vanish with her. I will not let this boy vanish in spirit before he has even begun to live. Her voice quivers on the last words, but the fire in her eyes holds. For a moment, silence presses down like snow. Then a voice rises from the back, not loud, but clear, an elder woman with hair white as frost. She says, Ellen speaks truth. A village is not measured by how it guards its laws, but by how it guards its children. The words ripple through the circle like a spark in dry grass. Some nod, others scowl, but all are listening. The boy stirs against Ellen's chest as though sensing the weight of voices around him. The council does not decide that night. Duncan announces they will meet again at sunrise. Until then, the matter rests, heavy on every heart. The crowd disperses slowly, their whispers carrying into the darkness. Ellen remains standing beneath the oak. The boy sleeps in her arms, but her mind does not rest. She knows the dawn will bring more than judgment. It will bring the first true test of whether love can stand against tradition. The night slips away, but it does not bring peace. The stars fade into a pale sky, and the first streaks of dawn crawl across the hills. Ellen has not closed her eyes. The fire in her hearth is little more than ash, but her arms are still wrapped around the boy. His small chest rises and falls with steady breaths, as if untouched by the storm that waits beyond the door. She listens to him, and for a fleeting moment she dares to imagine a life where the world accepts them. But the knock comes again before that thought can take root. This time, it is not the council. It is a man whose shadow stretches across her threshold before she even sees his face. He is tall, wrapped in a travel-worn cloak, dust and mud clinging to his boots. His eyes sharp and searching lock onto the cradle behind her. He does not wait to be invited inside. He speaks with a voice that carries the weight of claim. The boy is mine. The words fall like a blade. Ellen's stomach turns. Her grip tightens around the child and she steps back. But the man advances his presence, filling the small home. He tells her he is kin by blood. Julie's blood. His brother. His tone is not one of tenderness, but of right and entitlement. He insists that the child belongs to his line, not to Ellen's arms. Ellen's voice shakes at first, but then steadies. She asks where he was when the child cried in the night, where he was when Julie walked away, leaving silence. Behind, the man does not flinch. He says duty kept him on distant roads, but blood ties cannot be erased. His eyes narrow as he warns her that the council will hear not just of her claim, but of his. He declares that tradition is on his side, that no matter her vows, she cannot stand against blood. The child stirs at the sound of voices. His small hand clutches Ellen's dress as if sensing the danger. She pulls him closer, shielding his face from the man's gaze. Her heart pounds, yet she does not yield. She replies in a quiet tone that cuts sharper than any shout. Blood may tie a name, but love binds a soul. This boy's soul has already found its home here with me. The man's jaw tightens. A storm brews in his silence, before he turns sharply toward the door. He throws one last warning over his shoulder. The council will choose. They will not favor a woman who defies order. Ellen listens to his footsteps fade into the morning mist. Her knees weaken, but she does not fall. She kneels beside the cradle and lays the boy down. Her tears slip silently onto his blanket. The sun rises, casting long beams of light across the floor. The village bell tolls, calling all to gather beneath the oak. Once more Ellen wipes her face and steadies her breath. The boy sleeps unaware of the war now waged over his life. Ellen whispers into the quiet room, "You are my son not by birth but by bond, and I will not let them take you." She lifts him once more and steps outside, where the dawn carries both fear and defiance. Would you like me to carry Section 6 into the council confrontation where Ellen and the man stand face to face before the entire village? The oak looms tall in the pale morning light. Its branches claw at the sky like the arms of something ancient, demanding to witness what humans cannot hide. The villagers crowd around the circle of stones, their breath rising in the cold air, as if the earth itself is exhaling judgment. Ellen walks slowly through them, the child close against her chest. Whispers ripple like wind over dry grass, some pity, some scorn, but all are sharp enough to cut. At the center of the circle, the council waits. Duncan seated with staff across his knees. His eyes are grave and lined with the weight of years. Beside him stand the elders, silent pillars of tradition. Ellen feels their gaze pierce her skin. But another figure steps forward before she can speak. The traveler, the man who claimed blood the night before. His cloak is thrown back, his face unshaded, and proud he bows, not with humility, but with possession. Then he lifts his voice for all to hear. "This boy is my blood, my right," he declares. His words ring loud and steady. His brother's son abandoned and left to me by law and legacy. Yet this woman clutches him as if blood means nothing, as if affection can rewrite the order of our lives. He spreads his arms toward the council, toward the villagers, his tone rising with each breath. If this is permitted, if any may claim what is not theirs, then chaos will reign. Who will honor blood if love alone decides? The crowd murmurs, some nodding their heads, others shifting uneasy. Ellen feels the heat of anger rise in her chest, but she waits for the voices to settle. Then she steps forward, her voice clear but not loud. She does not need volume, for every word cuts through the circle. He speaks of blood. But where was blood when the child cried in the night? Where was blood when Julie vanished into shadow? Where was blood when a babe was left alone, to freeze on the floor? Her voice wavers, but only for a moment. She straightens her back. I was there. I heard his cry. I carried him in my arms when no one else would. If that is not a claim stronger than blood, Then what are we as a people? The silence that follows is thicker than fog. Duncan's hand tightens on his staff. His eyes narrow as he studies Ellen. Then he turns to the villagers. "Speak," he commands. "Let your hearts be known." And so they do. One by one, voices rise. A farmer says the law is clear. The boy belongs to blood. A woman counters that no child should be raised by claim alone. Another man spits that tradition must not bend. A young girl no older than 12 whispers that the baby smiled when Ellen held him. That should mean something. Her words draw laughter, and yet also a hush, for innocence often carries weight that wisdom forgets. The traveler lifts his chin, certain that the council leans his way. Ellen feels the tide pulling against her, yet she does not release the child. She cradles him tighter, her lips brushing the top of his head as though her vow might pass into him. The oak groans as the wind tears through its branches. The sky darkens, though the hour is still young. Nature itself seems to lean closer, as if the world waits for the council's decision. The council rises as one. Duncan strikes the butt of his staff against the stones, and the sound rolls through the circle like thunder. The crowd falls silent, the air thick and heavy with breath. Held back, every face turned to him, waiting for the verdict, waiting to know whether tradition will crush Ellen's vow, or whether a new path will be carved beneath the old oak. Duncan's voice is slow at first, measured as if weighed against the centuries behind him. We are a people bound by blood, bound by law. It has carried us through famine, through war, through loss. If we break that bond, what will remain? His eyes sweep the villagers. Some nod their heads, their faces hard with expectation. Others look down, unable to meet his gaze. Then he turns to Ellen. His stare lingers on the child tucked against her heart. But there are times, he continues, when the law does not answer, when the silence of a child's cry cannot be met with parchment or tradition, when only love stands in the breach. He pauses, letting the words sink into the circle. Love is not law, but neither is it nothing. The traveler steps forward, anger flashing across his face. His voice cracks with fury. If you choose her, you deny blood. You deny the order handed to us. Duncan raises a hand, silencing him. His voice grows firm. The boy's future cannot rest on absence. Blood that did not stand present cannot claim the stronger right. Ellen did not steal, she answered. A cry. And the oak itself would bear witness that a cry unanswered is a sin heavier than broken law. A murmur sweeps the crowd, half in protest, half in awe. The traveler spits his defiance and storms from the circle, his cloak whipping in the wind. But no one follows him. The villagers remain, their eyes drawn, not to his retreat but to Ellen, who has not moved, who holds the child with trembling strength, as though she has known this moment would come. Duncan lifts his staff once more and strikes the stones again. His words echo across the field. The council recognizes Ellen as mother to the boy. Her claim is sealed not by blood, but by bond. Let all who stand here bear witness. None shall take him from her. The crowd exhales in one great rush. Some cheer softly, others mutter darkly. But the decision stands as final as the oak's roots in the soil.